New question. Member from Newmarket, Aurora.
Thank you, Speaker. My question is to the Premier. Speaker, yesterday the Minister of Health admitted that she was surprised that Chris Mazza was back on her payroll. Not long ago, the Minister called Chris Mazza a liar. She fired him from his job as CEO of Orange. She called in the OPP to investigate him. She knows that he's under investigation by the College of Physicians and Surgeons, and she knows that he put frontline Orange staff and patients at risk. And now he's working in the emergency ward at the Thunder Bay Hospital. When asked yesterday how she would feel if he was working on her in that emergency ward, she refused to answer. And yet this minister claims she has no authority to keep this man off the public payroll and away from patients. I ask this to the Premier. If the Minister of Health has no authority to ensure this man doesn't get anywhere near the public payroll, who does?
Thank you. Thank you. Premier.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. And I think that this question was answered very well yesterday by the Minister of Health and Long-Term Care. And I know she may want to comment on the supplementary, but I just want to say that the Minister of Health and Long-Term Care made it very clear yesterday how these hiring processes are done, Mr. Speaker. The comment that I want to add is that I know that the member opposite is not suggesting that we somehow find a way to go around due process, Mr. Speaker, that there is due process, and there have obviously been processes that have been begun because of this person's previous activities. But I'm sure that the member opposite is not suggesting that we would somehow contravene that due process that is there for the protection of every citizen in this province, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Supplementary.
Mr. Speaker, I am suggesting precisely that. If the Chief of Staff at the Thunder Bay Hospital doesn't know enough not to put this man on the payroll, then the Premier should overrule that decision. That's what I'm saying. This is a man who, a senior Orange executive, revealed that while under the employ of Chris Mazza, he became addicted to Percocet, and it was Chris Mazza, as the CEO of Orange, who prescribed his addiction by prescribing those drugs. That's Chris Mazza. That's the kind of reputation he has, putting frontline Orange staff at risk, mismanaging millions of dollars, putting the Ontario taxpayers into debt to the tune of multi-millions. I say to the Premier again, this man has no place on the payroll of the province of Ontario, let alone in the emergency ward of one of our hospitals.
Be seated, please. Thank you. Premier.
Mr. Speaker, I watched the party opposite stand up and cheer a sort of line of argument that would lead to a very, very dangerous set of precedents, I believe, Mr. Speaker. And so I don't know whether we're getting insight into the kind of society that the Conservative Party, the Progressive Conservative Party of Ontario, would have in place. A society where
The member from Renfrew, Nipissing, Pembroke. The member from Renfrew, Nipissing, Pembroke will come to order. The Minister of Energy, the Minister of Rural Affairs, and the Attorney General will come to order. The member from Nepean Carleton will come to order. I remember them all, and I've told a few of you more than once. My next time is a warning.
Speaker, so that would be a society where the College of Physicians and Surgeons would no longer have the authority that they have now. It would be a society where due process would be thrown aside and an individual politician would make a decision about another individual without the benefit of due process. I don't believe that's the society that we've built over the last 150 years, Mr. Speaker, and I don't think it's a society that would protect the interests of the population of Ontario.